Welcome back here in the grand finals of WePlay Season 3. We have Game 4 on the way, so let's jump right in. See the draft, see what the two teams are going to switch up. Slardar indeed first ban, or rather, well, second ban. First phase ban by MVP Phoenix. First pick goes the way of Vega Squadron for the second time in a row. So at least it seems like Vega was happy with the side slash first pick they got here. And other than that, Enchantress makes it through, aka Vega, aka Solo, gets to play as Enchantress, which is a real scary thing, as we saw that in his game that he played Enchantress against Evil Geniuses this morning.
Yep. Seems like Vega, do they get Puck now or do they avoid? What would you rather have?
It might even be a Beastmaster. I mean, they have picked up a lot of... they won't actually probably pick Beastmaster into the Witch Doctor.
No.
I think you're right about that.
Oh yeah,
it's just going to be Disruptor.
I think that's a wise choice, because as Ryan said, he had a big impact in the first game, and he probably would have gotten banned in the second phase as well. And they're less worried about Puck because they can win without Puck. They can just put no one on Ember and he just dominates.
Or Wind Ranger, or
anything,
any.
Yeah, that works too. You feel like the opening of MVP Phoenix is a solid one too?
I think they're both solid and they have their both strengths and weaknesses. Witch Doctor and Doom are very hard heroes to kill, as we're going to see. Enchantress can get a lot done early on. Witch Doctor obviously counter a little bit for the Enchantress creeps we know roaming around. We've seen so many Enchantresses the past like five months or so that the hero speaks for itself. But I guess, and we obviously know Disruptor, staple hero for Vega Squadron, and it's kind of interesting to see how they still ban out the Beastmaster in the second phase, still giving that respect to Mag. It's going to be interesting what MVP want to do now, though. Like, do they still want to go back to their Juggernaut? Or what do they want to do now? And do they still want to go aggressive? How do they want to play? Well, I don't think you necessarily can go aggressive anymore because of the Enchantress, but could still run 2-1-2 lanes as long as they're strong.
I'm curious if we're going to see a Brood or a Darkseer pick here from Vega. I would like to see that.
What needs to happen for them to pick Brood? I would imagine it would be fourth or fifth pick?
Too much single target.
Yeah, they want to have... If MVP go for a lot of single target, they can't really clear the spiders. They could send Brood to the off lane and then even help out with the Enchantress and kind of just dominate that lane.
Well, we still have Darkseer in the pool as well. And Mike played him really well previous game. Do you not feel like that might be a less niche pickup that is more well-rounded than a Brood? Because I feel like a Brood is either, if it works, it's amazing, but if it doesn't work, it's kind of eh. Well, Darkseer is like, if it doesn't work, you still have, you still have your spells, you still can have your farm, you can still go into the jungle. You miss less hard if you miss on a Darkseer.
It's a hit or miss hero pretty much. No Darkseer it could be an option too.
I think Darkseer we've seen it have so much success for Vega Squadron. We've seen it have a lot of success for EG. And I think it's a really good hero against the Venomancer too. Oh, okay. Well, I was going to go back why I think it's such a good hero. It's because you can get Pipe and you can get Mech on the Darkseer, and then you have all that. Okay, so Alchemist. Oh, all right. Now Vega.
Hello. Andro. Okay. These teams don't think about their bans, or rather, they already thought them through. They had them in their minds, they knew what they wanted, and they go for it straight away. Talk to me about reasons behind the picks.
The Venomancer, obviously we've seen how MVP have run this hero, and it just creates enough space, it feels like, just so they can go, if they want to, in the later stages of the game, or it just takes all your towers sometimes early, or even defends towers. Really good hero. But Vega Squadron, now they have the pressure around the map constantly, Drow strat, and against an Alchemist, normally I think they have enough burst damage actually to deal with the Alchemist, and they can punish the Alchemist too if he plays greedy with the Disruptor. I think Vega Squadron honestly have the better lineup right now. What do you think?
I think MVP's lineup is quite well-rounded, but yeah, I think it looks at least though as if Vega, and I mean, yeah, when we saw them in the booth as well, you could see they were looking a bit more jolly and in good spirits after that last win. And it kind of looked like, to me at least, from what, I don't know how much you can read off of people's faces, but it kind of looked like they had a plan, and I think they're happy with what they have right now. I mean, the Furion and the Drow Ranger came out in quick succession, so
we're going to see the same exact thing. Game 3 for EG, Game 4 for here for Vega, and they might take down the Juggernauts for MVP. It's like a good thing to think about too is like the split push Vega can just apply. MVP, they can defend towers, like you can defend one tower with the Venomancer and the Acid Spray, but can you defend 2 lanes? Can you even defend 3 lanes? And that I could see a big problem coming in for Vega. And Alchemist, can he soak up down? Yeah, like you said, Brood is a really good ban because either team, or not either team, MVP, they want to have, you know, a space creator could be a very big problem. They could still run Doom as a core. Or no, Venomancer core, Alchemid, could do a lot of different things. So where do you think, actually, what are the MVP's lanes too? We'll talk about that in a second. Vega, pick here,
you got your safe lane, Alchemist, mid
Wind
Veno,
Ranger,
Doom jungle, off lane still to be picked. Which doctor support Alch?
Yeah, I mean, MVP have a few different ways of laning, I guess. Alch mid is the most standard thing we see nowadays.
But then they don't do their Venom mid, which, because if they lane their, they so far have only laned their Venom mid.
Yeah, but Veno is fine to go in the safe lane, or even in, you can send Veno in an aggressive tri lane, but it's not the best. I would prefer to see the Veno in the safe lane, I think, here.
Okay.
Alchemist's safe lane is not the greatest.
No, it's not good. You need your levels. You really need to go mid as Alchemist to get your levels fast, and you can get punished heavily, I think, with the Furion too. Like, you're just gonna, especially the Enchantress too, so. Okay, that's a really good hero. I was trying to think of what they could pick for the mid. Now they have a Viper against Alchemist. Oh my goodness.
That's scary. And I mean, Alchemist in the safe lane, he wants to push the lane, which doesn't really make sense against the Nature's Prophet because it just means that he's gonna get the free experience.
10 seconds remaining.
Do you still favor Vega's lineup more?
Oh yeah, this is like, right now for me, it's like 85% Vega, like have outdrafted MVP.
I think the Viper pick was, it's really scary for MVP.
Is there anything that MVP Phoenix can pick that would solve all their problems?
At this point,
like Lich?
That's a Lich against a heavy push lineup.
I think it's gonna be. It's to kind of shut down the lanes. I think. Yeah, I think probably shutting them down early in the lane so that the Draw Ranger doesn't get that much experience. I don't know if it's actually gonna be a Lich mid. I kind of doubt it is. He might deny one creep, but he might deny one creep in the mid lane and then head towards the bottom. Go for the Lich Doom bottom, the Alchemist mid, and I expect the Witch Doctor with the Venomancer on the top. It could be an Alchemist still on the top lane and go for the stun build, but we haven't seen that in a long time, and it also slows down your farm a lot because you don't have that Acid Spray, so I would be surprised if it is, but it is MVP, the team that used to run Warlock, you know, they do a lot of crazy stuff, so...
Okay, is it gonna be 2-2? Well,
my original prediction was 3-1, so...
No, it's gonna be... Oh, Vega?
I'm just gonna... Yeah, 3-1 MVP.
Okay, 3-1 MVP.
Vega is gonna win this pretty handily. Lich is only good for Frost Armor, and Enchantress and Furion are just gonna kill him.
We are gonna go directly to the game. It's time for Game 4 of Vega Squadron versus MVP Phoenix with ODPixel and Draskell.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're ready to get ourselves into Game 4 now between MVP and Vega. 2-1 at the moment up for MVP, but as we saw there in Game 3, Vega can certainly strike back. Let's see if they can pull it off again here in the 4th match as we get ourselves into the action. I'm ODPixel, I'm joined by Draskell. Draskell, we've heard what the panel think about the Drows. What do you reckon about this? Vega going for this Drow strat, MVP going for the Alch, and picking up the Lich post 6.87 B nerf.
Well, I think the Lich is, like Pycat said, it's a little bit for the control of the lanes, you know, get yourselves ahead. But I think it's actually more for Ice Armor than anything else. Like, if you look at Vega's lineup, it's very predicated around heavy right-click. Like, obviously you have Drill Aura, you got the Nature's Prophet, you got the Viper, and Nether Toxin is physical damage. So if you get Doom and you eat an Ogre, and then you have the other Ice Armor on top of that, they do stack. So you can just get a tremendous amount of armor for Alchemist, who naturally has very low armor, to help him try to tank up and be that frontline hero. Then you can have your Doom go for like a Crimson or something, and I kind of see where they're coming from. With that being said, I still think Vega's draft is a little bit better, and I think MVP went into this one being a little bit greedy. But we'll see what they're able to do with it. Right now, it looks like the way the lanes are going to shape up, they are dodging mid. So they're going to put QO in the safe lane, which I think is the right call. And having the Veno mid, this is a hero that is extremely hard to really deal with because he's just going to get Plague Wards up. It's very difficult to gank him. Maybe once no one hits 6, they could go for it, but I suppose we'll have to see.
I mean, talking about the way that they've decided to lane then, QO big on the safe lane out. I mean, how much of an impact is that going to be against him, the fact that he's not going to get that solo XP in the mid as an Alchemist?
I think it's actually more important for him to get like his early armlet. Like if he wants to go the build that we've been constantly seeing, it's like armlet into Radiance, then Manta Octarine. I think his item timings actually are more important than his levels, and if he does need that EXP so badly, I think Dubu can just go and try to pull. Because Mag, he might be able to contest those pulls, but I think it's better for this particular lane to start playing it more greedy because they're kind of on a timer. This Dro strat's going to hit 6, and FN and the rest of Vega are going to be looking to push tier 1s, and by that point, QO needs to have a few points into Acid Spray, and he also needs to have at least like one item unless they want to just lose like all their towers.
We'll talk about, like, just looking at the rest of the lanes across the map, the situation that both sides have found themselves in. This matchup in the mid then that MVP have chosen to favor over the Alk against the Viper. I mean, Veno against the Viper. Does MP still find quite a bit in this matchup?
Eventually he will, because Viper is not really good. You can't just attack Plague Wards the whole time. So what's going to happen is eventually, when MP, I think it's about level 5, that the lane really starts turning. Even now, MP is still doing pretty well. Like, no one hasn't popped his salve yet, and he actually came to lane with even more regen than the Venomancer. I think eventually, the Plague Ward army is just going to be too much. Viper is going to get pushed in constantly, and he's just not going to be able to harass. But that's kind of what Veno does to everyone. There's not really a whole lot of heroes in the game that just straight up beat this hero 1v1.
I can see Solo maybe thinking about having to go on towards the mid lane, but he knows what's up there. MP's dropping down a ward as well, just in case any movement was going to be coming back in. And looking at the safe lane, it's a QO 10 for 1, slightly ahead of the Drow 8 for 2, but nonetheless, it's still pretty much even Stevens across the map here between both sides.
A Solo looking for the courier.
Here we go, but they know.
Oh, they hit it.
They know.
Yeah. Very nicely done there. They had that Plague Ward, I suppose, that, did it scout him? I'm not sure if he walked by it.
Yeah, when he came over there,
yeah,
he went and then put it behind him, so they knew that Solo was in the jungle.
A little bit of a slow start here for both teams. Vega are the ones who were looking to play very aggressive after they get that marksmanship marksmanship up on FN. He's already got the precision aura going.
Well, Solo's thinking about going for a kill onto Dubu here with the shockwave, the stun as well, but Dubu bites himself free the tree line. He's going to be fine there, reaching back up. Mid lane, no one. Starting to move in again onto MP, and MP is in a little bit of trouble here. MP falling low. Oh, he's going to get himself out with a tango. He'll be fine, but meanwhile, bottom lane, that's where the first blood's going to be going. They'll find one. They do get a kill in return. The question is, can Vega try and get a second for Rep? Going into the tree line, he's not going to make it. And Vega, they'll take a 2-for-1 trade, including the first blood going to their side there.
Oh, it's a really nice exchange for Vega. Having the Niches Prophet teleport in to secure the kills. Still though, always got to keep in mind that Alchemist, you got to try to shut him down as much as you can. We know that the Enchantress has kind of been up here. Mag actually about the same CS as the Alch, only a few behind at this stage. I'd say the laning phase is going about as well as you could ask it to right now for Vega.
I mean, in terms of the rotations, well, and if you're MVP, how do you deal with this? I mean, I guess you need to look after your Alch on the top lane. I mean, QO, as we can see now, being badly beaten down. Well, what do you do in response to the way that Vega are going to be looking to play with this Drow strat?
Their lanes are fairly static from MVP. It's not like one hero is going to be able to rotate around. Dubu can't really gank mid, there's no Gale on the Venomancer, and I think most of the time when they pick the strategy, they just like to leave him alone. So if he goes anywhere, I guess it would be bottom.
Talking about bottom, Mag TPing over, gets the Sprout to Forever. Forever actually going to be glimpsed back as well. Forever popping the Scorched Earth just before the gust comes out, so he should be able to get himself away by the looks of it here. Mag, he's got a Sprout again, but Forever, he's out of range. So Forever lucky to get away there, and Vega just not quite enough control to deal with the Doom there with the three of them about.
And just imagine once he actually gets that armor creep going. Like, he's only got the Bassi right now for the bonus armor. And he will eventually get some points into the ice armor as well on Febi. Actually kind of surprising to see Febi prioritize leveling the second point into Sacrifice over getting one value point into ice armor, but I suppose with the cooldown nerf, it might be more valuable to him just to continually get that EXP, make sure that him and Farev hit 6 at a faster pace. That could also help out tremendously in this game.
Mid lane, here we go, Solo. Looking to make a play here, potentially. Eyes on to MP on his Venomancer. He's got the backup of the Disruptor as well, with a couple of points in Glimpse. Shoma very much in a position to set this one up. They're even TPing in as well. Mag with the setup onto MP, dropping the Sprout, glimpsing him back and bringing him down. Nice gag from the rotation there from the side of Vega Squadron. Setting themselves a third kill on the board. 3-1 now for them. And again, looks like game 4 is going to be as strong, if not a stronger start than they had in game 3.
They're just punishing the static laning phase of MVP. They know that the Alk isn't going to be rotating around. They know that the Venomancer pretty much only wants to sit mid and drop Plague Wards, try to apply like idle pressure to the tower. But I think the one thing that MVP did differently this game is when they picked Venomancer last time, they had other heroes that were able to make rotations around the map to make the mid player actually leave the lane. So normally the Veno can actually deal damage to the tower and whatnot, but without that help.
Oh, Febby. Just Raph to the face, the kinetic field's going to trap him, and again, Mag with these TPs comes in onto one, and they're already looking for more. Shomi gets the control onto Forever with the Glimpse back. He's going to go for the TP out here, and he's going to make it. Won't be able to hold that one back. And he gets himself out, but nonetheless, it's still another kill for Vega. And this is, as we keep saying, exactly what they need to be pulling off when they run a lineup as they've drafted this game.
They keep this pressure up. They get the Dro to level 6 soon. FN's about halfway there right now, level 5. And they're just going to start killing towers. And you just have to hope that MVP are ready in time. I think the Lich might... Oh, hold that thought. There is a smoke here.
Yeah, these smokes. I mean, every single time, Sherman and Solar looking for action. They're not going to find anything towards the mid lane. Dubu was the one hanging around just to spell it on the Disruptor, but Vega, they're just going to move back and down towards the bottom. Febby and Forev in foresight, and they'll grab the little glimpse onto Febby, trapping him in the kinetic field. Stomp coming through onto Forev, and now FN trying to move in with the right clicks. Max TP'd in as well. Shoma, he is going to tick down this time. Well, the question is, can Vega continue to take the favourable trade? They'll find one. It's round to Forev, but he fights his way through with the Quelling Blade. Signing up just a 1-for-1 trade there between the two.
Well, I think that was actually not too bad, all things considered, because if you think about the commitment there from Vega, it was a Nature's Prophet teleport. There were 3 other heroes there, ended up trading 1-for-1. I think that, honestly, MVP are more than okay with that exchange. And the Lich hit 6. And Forev is also going to have Doom available. Like, the fact that it's only 8 minutes in and the dual offlane almost had level 6 on both the heroes, that's just still the strength of the Lich and how much weight the experience of the creep is on the range creep now. It's kind of insane, actually, that even after the nerfs, you're still able to get this much.
We can see, of course, on the top lane, whilst all this action's been going on, QO has been given more and more space. He's going to look to try and finish off the tier 1 here. We'll see if Mag is able to play for the deny. QO, is he going to get himself back in? Oh, tried to go for the stun to secure it, but it isn't going to be the case. Nice touch from Mag there to deny the out of that extra bit of bonus gold. QO, of course, at the moment, already at the top. 4.6k as expected with the safe lane farming out. Mid lane, though, MP. For the smart TP out, he will make it the same time bottom lane. No one chipping away at the Witch Doctor. He finds one for Rev. He's trying to dive onto FN. Will get the kill with the Scorched Stuff. He walk himself away from this one. TP from Mag, looking to cut off the Doom. Has got the Sprout ready and waiting, but of course it's not going to be that much use of it for Rev. He's got a Quelling Blade, but maybe if he uses it like that to just block off the entirety of the path, they would have had a chance, but Rev smartly just walks around the other way. Knows with the 3-second cooldown on Quelling Blade, not going to have a chance to chop through 2. So he gets himself out. Alchemist with the armlet now done. QO ready with that, but at the same time, 9 minutes in, there is going to be a mech on the Viper ready for the next push.
This is getting a little bit scary for Vega. They're doing very well. Like, the Viper has an insane amount of farm, and the Dro is also almost level 7, so they're going to have the max precision aura. This is the timing they need to hit. Every single thing up on Vega is ready to go. You need to start killing towers, because they have not addressed QO directly in lane. So the way that you deal with this Alchemist now is you actually just apply pressure everywhere else on the map and get the map control on your side. So that way Vega don't have to worry about QO just free farming the entire time without any pressure being applied. This is the time that they're going to go, and now MVP need to decide how they're going to address this.
Still the plan is, indeed, Dubu, Forev, and Febby, the ones in the neighborhood. Someone onto the tower, trying to slow this one down. Forev has got a Doom available. In terms of targets, it's not looking that appealing for him. Communication coming through, but the rest of Vega, the full 5-man, are in the neighborhood. And they'll be able to find themselves at tier 1. The question is, they want to try and find more. They'll get the glimpse onto Forev. Viper Strike drop down as well. Trapped up in the trees, he'll find his way up, but the damage is too much. Vega, they'll find themselves a kill on top of the tier 1. And maybe even to add to that, a tier 2 as well. They're not going to stop with this push.
Yeah, they don't need to stop. They do an insane amount of damage already. The Precision Aura gives them 37 damage each. Looks like the answer is going to be rotating down Q-O. Needs to be careful though, they have glimpse. Or I guess Shioma wasn't quite close enough.
Q-O's actually charging up a concoction. Thrown out onto 2, but as you said, this Disruptor's looking for the play in a great kinetic field. Static Storm onto 2. Now moving on to QA. He's trying to arm this his way out of this one. He will make it. MP with a poison over the Chain Frost as well. Bouncing amongst the ball. The Doom onto Solo. This could be the turnaround that MVP need. No one's going to go, and there's going to find a third. MVP there with a massive poison over Chain Frost. Just slowing down the advance of Vega, and they're going to maybe find more as well. Shioma tried to hide up in the tree line. Drop the kinetic field, try and run himself away from the Doom, but he's going to run into an out. Concoction onto the man's head, and it's going to be a 4-1 for MVP.
That's
Fantastic
really
defense for the Koreans.
That is really bad for Vega. That is actually like maybe worst case scenario. Walking into a team fight like that, the Chain Frost bouncing between your whole team. I think it actually bounced until it ended on its own.
Yes,
instead
definitely.
of actually breaking from range. So what? That's 10 Chain Frost bounces that went off there. Honestly, with that team fight, the Alchemist is already sitting on 3,200 gold with the armlet. We talked about how important it was for Vega to be able to pressure the map so Q-O doesn't just get free farm and get to his next item in progression too fast. Well, he's going to have a Radiance in probably about 2 minutes from now. And once that happens, Vega are even more under the gun to try to finish the game because they are not going to translate well into the later stages against an Alchemist and a Doom. Like, they don't have a direct answer to just the tankiness of the heroes. They just wanted to be able to get to towers, kill them, you know, eventually take Roshan, control the map, maybe go for a high ground siege early, and losing a fight that badly does not bode well.
See if they can get away with this tier 1 push. MVP. Got 3 of them around. So if they want to try and do anything, at least they'll probably go for the deny. Oh, not quite able to make it. Solo will get the touch. Same time. Themselves a tier 1 at the top lane as well by the looks of it. Vega, Mag, looking for that push. They do lose the tier 1 at the bottom lane, so MVP still able to find objectives against the pushing power of Vega. 8-for-7 at the moment. I think a lot of people after the first 3 games appreciated the play, the performance, but they were looking for a closer matchup. And here in game 4, it certainly seems to have leveled out. Because you've got obviously the momentum of Vega, but at the same time, MVP. Q-O's farm is still fantastic. He has got that relic. He's closing in on the money for the completed Radiance. This game could certainly go either way still at this point.
Vega just needs to not make any more mistakes. Another costly team fight like that, and like not only is it a Dro strat, which is susceptible to getting really far behind once you fail a couple of pushes, but they're up against Alchemist, literally the fastest farmer in Dota. So you need to make sure that every single push is executed well. It's good that they got both the tier 1 and the tier 2 in the safe lane off the map very quickly. Opens up the jungle. They got 3 deep wards. They realized that they absolutely need to control the map. They cannot let Q-O keep up at this rate without taking something away.
Q-O, the Radiance out on the way to him. MVP, the sun getting from just going from strength to strength.
Alright, so it was actually less than 2 minutes. It was like 90 seconds, give or take, that it took him to farm from 3,200 gold to having a full Radiance.
And off the back of that, they just want to fight straight away. MVP, smoked up. See if they can find the kill that they'd love to. I mean, Disruptor is in the neighborhood. They're just going to go for Rocher, smoking into the pit.
This is extremely hard to anticipate. Although with the deep wards, Vega might know something is up. Like no one's farming the safe lane at all.
Here comes the tree, and Mag's going to scout it out for the side, so they'll know what's up. And it's not necessarily the quickest Roshan from MVP, so there will be a chance to contest it. And here we have it. Vega coming over, Static Storm. It's going to trap Q-O and Forever. Q-O pops the armlet on. Trying to get in position, but the Chain Frost bounces there out. Poison over as well from MP. The Death Ward laid down, fighting into Solo. No one's been doomed up. They found one. There's going to be a buyback for Solo. No one's going to drop as well as MP claims himself a double kill. There's 3 down, 1 buyback from Vega to bring him back in the fight. FN trying to find Febby, but MVP just surround the poor Drow Ranger. They beat down on FN. They'll find him as well, and Solo with that buyback not going to be able to achieve anything here. And MVP, they head back into the pit. And as you said, Vega, they can't afford to make mistakes with this kind of lineup and this kind of play style. That was just a massive one.
I would already say that Vega are insanely behind. This is the type of lineup where you basically want to have all the towers dead already on the map if you're playing Dro, or playing a Dro strat, and MVP they beat you in a team fight 2 times in a row with a greedy lineup. They get Roshan. You're not able to kill the tier 2 in the bottom lane as well. Everything is kind of going downhill right now for Vega. They're losing a lot of steam. I mean, this is a Viper that went mech. You know, they want to continue to fight during this mid-game timing, and they want to make sure that they can siege. But if you keep losing these fights, the Doom already has Crimson. How are you ever going to go high ground if you have these 2 frontliners like the Alchemist with a Crimson Guard buff and a Doom just running at you? It's getting really scary for Vega.
We'll see at this point, MP is actually heading up towards the top. Mag against MP here. Mag just Sprout. Now the Nature Rep flying in as well. MP dropped the Gale. But he's just going to be caught out by the Disruptor. Meg might just keep it alive now with the Glimpse back. The Crimson Guard, they're actually going to survive here. MP's fine, and now Forev and the rest of MVP looking for the turnaround. QO coming in with a concoction, he's got the vision, lands it onto Mag. Mag will be taken down. Shuma's going for the TP out. Will he make it? He will, just in time. To stomp there from the Doom, not quite out quick enough to stop that TP. But nonetheless, it's another kill for MVP. And keeping MP alive there, just like that.
He baited him really hard by holding on to the mech. He didn't even pop his Fairy Fire. That's how confident he was that he wasn't going to die there. So very nice play there coming in from the Veno. Just getting a bonus kill on the Nature's Prophet. Probably one of the most valuable heroes, if not the most valuable hero on Vega to take down right now. They don't have much time, honestly. Like they got another 10 minutes maybe before QO just gets completely out of control. He's already on top of the bots. It took him less than 2 minutes to farm bots from just having brown boots after he picked up the Radiance, and now he's already back up to another 2,000 gold. You just don't get that many times to make mistakes when you're playing against this hero if you don't have like an AA or something like that, which I think they banned, right? They last banned it or something? Or no, or was it the game before? No, sorry, it was another game. They didn't ban AA this game, but
no, not this one.
Without having something that directly counters the Chemical Rage, you're pretty much only relying on right-click damage. And against like Ice Armor, on the Lich especially, I think that Doom would like to find something other than the creep that he has right now because he's sitting on top of a Golem. Maybe he wants a Wolf or maybe the Ice Armor Golem, or Ice Armor Ogre that we were talking about previously.
But as you said, just a lot of emphasis on how well QO is playing this game.
Yeah.
Just look at the farm. I mean, it's exactly how an Alk wants to be. 18 minutes in, having the same net worth as the 2 cores of the enemy side put together. Trees going to come out, and Mag is going to burn, and these slaps with the swords.
Oh.
QO finds himself another more money into the bank of this Alk. Solomon's sure, but they need to be a little bit careful here because Forev, he's coming in with a haste read. He's got a Doom available. He will be glimpsed back. He's going to just run himself straight back down. Solo needs to run, needs to hide. He will get himself back to safety, but now MVP in a position to get a push on this bottom tier 2. They have the ults available. We'll see if Vega can try and do anything in reaction. I mean, at the moment, you obviously just have no one trying to put a bit of pressure up on top. FN as well, building on that SMY. He's got the gold for it. I mean, the question is, does he need to go BKB on Yasha rather than finishing off a Sanchez Yasha this game?
I don't think. I mean, BKB is one of those necessary evils, I suppose, but I don't know if it's gonna like win him any team fights or even help him go high ground. That's the problem. Like, we see MVP getting the tier 2 in the safe lane here. They will also be able to TP back in time to defend their own towers. But the issue that BKB really has, you can still get doomed. The Alchemist still runs at you and kind of right-clicks you. You just don't have the damage to really burst him down when he has Chemical Rage active. And, you know, Q is almost level 16.
Oh, and Disruptor is about to have a full gank on his plate. So the Slayer has become the slain. And a nice pick up again for MVP. And as you said, it's looking incredibly rocky now for Vega in the draft that they tried to run this game. Potentially past that timing that they needed to hit. You can see on the net worth, it really is just going to taper down in advantage of the Dire. 7.5k now. Not the biggest of leads in 20 minutes in, but a lead that's only going to skyrocket with the amount of farm that QO is going to be getting with this Manta, Radiance and Armlet, and what's all complete. FN looking to try and ward them off here in the mid lane, moving forward on the Doom, sorry, on the Drow, but MVP, look at them, they're on the sidelines. QO, he's ready to move back in. See what Vega can do in response to this one. Sprays just laid down. TP in from no one. We'll see if they can try and punish this Alk's play, but Alk has got an Aegis. Even if they kill him once, and I mean, even that's a tall order on its own. They will glimpse him in though. Shane Frost coming in from the high ground. Rev got it back, but the bounces are real. The concoction thrown down onto Shoma. They'll take down the disruptor. The static storm, they're just going to walk out of it. In fact, Kiev walks back in. He says, "Oh, it's more of a static pattern than a storm."
They just don't have the damage to kill him anymore. I think he's already kind of at critical mass. I really don't know what Vega's backup plan is. Like, they can defend high ground for a little while, yeah. We talk about how difficult it is for melee heroes to typically go high ground, but the thing about Alchemist is that he has so much regen, he basically has a built-in heart, which is one of the items that most melee strength cores want to build to breach that tier 3.
It's got to be a bit careful now. No ages, of course. When we caved up. But still, as you said, just this regen is absolutely insane. It's going to allow MVP to sustain the positioning here. Continue to just push him when they want to go again.
QO is getting really close to the Octarine as well, if that's the choice he's going to make. He might go a different route, though. I'm not sure. I think Octarine is one of those items that gives you just the sheer amount of flat health that you need to live. Yeah, okay, it is going to be the Octarine, heated by the Soul Booster. Sometimes we see other stuff like AC, for example, just to give you the extra armor when you're going that high ground, or sometimes people even buy heart, depending on what time of game it is.
Jumping in, teleport down, FN's been doomed and he's out. Quick one for MVP.
Alright, Mag gets the courier snipe. Getting something at least.
Let's see if MVP want to continue to go and try and get the buyback out potentially from the Drow Ranger. Was closing in on the money for the BKB, but as you said, maybe even at that point not going for too much. Looking for Rev, harassing back the Viper. But on this tier 3 solo. Trying to do what he can with the Impetus, but he's been galed up, and now just the illusions coming in with that Radiance burn. Solo being forced back on the edge, a blast from the Lich, and this illusion might just do it with the tick damage, and he does. QO now dominating forever. Infernal Blade drops onto no one. He'll turn, but the Chain Frost is going to be thrown out. Not going to bounce at all here. That forces the Viper away from this defense. MVP with the Crimson Guard out, more than enough space to try and finish off this Rax. QO gets glimpsed back, but he just walks it back in. Nothing to follow through there on the Disruptor play. And it will be a full set of racks going down on this bottom lane by the looks of it. In fact, they'll leave the range for the time being. No one gets caught out on the front lines. Buyback on Solo and no one here looking for the defense. But it's going to be an incredibly hard one with the strength that MVP have at this point, and MVP will leave it at that. They'll take the melee racks. We're going to TP out top. The rout was going on, where Mag managed to find himself a ranged Rax. We'll see if he can find anything else here. MVP actually sticking around to fight. They know that if they could try and kill some of these heroes for a second time, forcing out, a situation where diebacks are there, and there is one. If they take down no one on the Viper, the Nature's Prophet is going to be killed, but he has got buyback available here, and he's going to go straight back top. He's looking for the rat here. Mag, he wants to try and find something in return, but MVP, they may find something even more big, even bigger than that Mag can wrap. It's going to be 2 heroes down without buybacks available now. Mag did manage to finish off the full set of racks top. But MVP, they're onto the tier 3 mid. They're onto the racks as well, looking to try and find themselves a second. Shoma just laying down the kinetic. And then the chip away, QO, but Rev just jumps straight in. Onto the Drow range, and the Poison Over coming out as well. Blast from Lich and FN's down. 3 dead now. No buybacks available. The Koreans are doing it. Mag, he's trying to go for the tier 4, but they're just going to call it GG. Well played. MVP may have slipped up in game 3, but game 4, again, another dominance showing there from the side, and you have your WePlay Season 3 LAN champions here. MVP, Draskell. I mean, these guys are going into this tournament. A lot of people said, keep your eyes out on these. A lot of pros, they were talking this team up. We've seen before in previous LANs, they can come with incredible performances. Dota, obviously, one to mention. Recently, though, Starlight, I believe they faltered, but here, they just go to show that coming up in this run-up to the Manila Major, MVP, they're